They're off. Everyone was out well. Have to reload showing speed from the center with Star Scholar also out well. Tugging at the rider under restraint is C to Air, and Ernie's Martini is down along the inside. The whole field within a length of each other, but the lead does belong to Have to Reload. It's Have to Reload and Helen Vanek, a half to Ernie's Martini and Jeffrey Alderson. Star Scholar and Juan Crawford third on the outside, and still fighting the rider at the back is C to Air. The opening quarter was 22-4. They are approaching the 3 furlong marker, and now Have to Reload shakes a little loose. He's up by nearly 2 as Ernie's Martini travels past Star Scholar. C to Air is still the trailer, about 3 lengths off the lead. As they reach the 2, it's still Have to Reload. They went the half in 46 flat. Have to Reload trying to take them coast to coast. The biggest threat looks like Ernie's Martini. C to Air trying to rally past Star Scholar on the inside. At the furlong marker, it's Have to Reload trying to find enough to save off the challenge of Ernie's Martini, and he looks to be doing so. He's shot away by 3 lengths. Have to Reload and Helen Vanek, an easy score in the opener. Have to Reload won by 4 over Ernie's Martini, then Star Scholar and C to Air. 6 furlongs and 110 flat. They're off. Frederica's Rose broke well, as did Daring Dame and Shoot from the center. Out widest is the favorite Melody Maker, and a bit slow to begin is Ready as a Breeze, has about 7 lengths to make up on the early leader. The pace is set by Daring Dame and Zeril Ford, a length to Shoot and Deshaun Bino. Gaskin keeps Melody Maker in the middle of the track in third, racing alongside Frederica's Rose and Ishmael Mascara. Ready as a Breeze and Brian Shane still trail about 7 lengths off the lead. The opening quarter was 23 seconds flat. They race within the half, and the lead still belongs to Daring Dame. The advantage is down to a length and a half. Melody Maker now splitting foes as Shoot races 3 deep. Frederica's Rose in contention down along the rail, and it's still 5 lengths back to Ready as a Breeze. Midway around the turn, the half was 47 flat, and now Melody Maker cruises up and takes control as Daring Dame begins to tire. Shoot is into second. Frederica's Rose looking for a path up the inside, and Ready as a Breeze has trailed throughout. They reach the top of the lane. It's Melody Maker under encouragement, but Frederica's Rose racing gamely down along the rail. Shoot is still in with a shot from the 3 path. Frederica's Rose now out finishing Melody Maker, opens up 2 lengths. Melody Maker is trying in vain, but Frederica's Rose is too good. Frederica's Rose and Ishmael Mascara by 2.5 over Melody Maker, then Shoot, Ready as a Breeze, and Daring Dame. 6.5 and 119 and 2. They're off. A clean beginning. Forest Flash was out well, going straight to the lead with Your Valentino hustling up the inside the track. Between horses, Name of the Game, and to his outside is Silent Miracle. Then it's another length and a half to the early trailer, Gus's Gamble. 5 lengths front to back. They race within the 4.5, and the lead belongs to Forest Flash and Juan Crawford. They've opened up 2.5 lengths as they complete the opening quarter in 22-1. Name of the game shares second with Silent Miracle as Your Valentino is taken back by Ford. He's joined to his outside by Gus's Gamble and Kirk Johnson. Midway round the turn, they still have to reel in Forest Flash, who's moving comfortably on the front end, a 3-length advantage to his stablemate Silent Miracle. Name of the game begins to stall. Your Valentino comes off the inside to go around him, and the trailer is still Gus's Gamble. A snappy half in 44-4, and they still have to catch Forest Flash and Juan Crawford. They're up by 3, but the stablemate Silent Miracle moving well down the outside. Your Valentino is gaining late ground. A 16th to home. Forest Flash looking for the wires. Silent Miracle and Ishmael Mascara getting up. It's a voice exactor. Silent Miracle over Forest Flash. Your Valentino was third, then Name of the Game and Gus's Gamble. 6 furlongs in 1:11-1. They're off. Charlita was out well. Speed from the outside for Dancin' Mary Marie and Blazing Damsel out quickly. Blues Mommy in the early fray on the far outside. Can't argue that, making an advance up the rail. Just a length off the lead as the top 5 race very clustered. It's a gap of 3 to It's Payday, and the early trailer is Noisy Girl. 5 across the track in an early scrum for the lead. The short advantage to Blazing Damsel as they complete the quarter in 22-2. Can't argue that. Taps on the brakes a bit there down along the inside. Out wide, Blues Mommy and Zenteno moving well into second with Dancin' Mary Marie and Bino to their inside. It's a length and a half to Can't Argue That, racing as a pair with Charlita. Now Noisy Girl trying to get going from the back, and the new trailer is It's Payday. 2 furlongs left to travel, 45-4 to the half. It's Blazing Damsel and Juan Crawford on top at the head of the lane. Blues Mommy begins to tire. Here comes Noisy Girl with momentum from the back. She still has 6 lengths to make up on Blazing Damsel, who's moving comfortably on the lead. Blazing Damsel has opened up a good margin. It's Blazing Damsel on top. Blazing Damsel and Juan Crawford go on to win by 5. Noisy Girl was second. A photo for show between Blues Mommy and Dancin' Mary Marie. Then Can't Argue That, It's Payday and Charlita. 6 furlongs and 110 flat. They're off. Mimi's Holiday broke slowly from the outside. Speed from My Cash Factor, Alta Calibre, and Hot Omelette towards the rail. Getting away fourth, about 3 lengths off the lead, is Sarah's Dancer. Then it's another gap of 3 to Ladies Rum. 2 lengths to the stablemates trailing Little Fire and Mimi's Holiday. The early pace is contested. It's Alta Calibre at 6-5, battling with My Cash Factor to the outside and advancing up the rail. Hot Omelet sticks her neck in front. Sarah's Dancer is biding her time all alone in fourth. It's well back to the rest. Ladies Rum racing 2 lengths better than Mimi's Holiday and Little Fire. 23-2 for the opening quarter. Hot Omelet has a short lead from Alta Calibre as My Cash Factor begins to fall back. Sarah's Dancer begins to rally on the inside as Hot Omelet lets out a notch. She's drifting well off the inside, but she's opened up 2 lengths on Alta Calibre. Sarah's Dancer found some traffic along the rail. Ladies Rum is going to try and rally from the back, and My Cash Factor finding more. It's Hot Omelet and Mikey David on top by 3, now 4. Here comes a late charge from the back from Little Fire, who's moving well, but Hot Omelet wrapped this up at the 8th pole. It's Hot Omelet and Mikey David. They scramble the competition by 4 lengths. Little Fire rallied to be second, then Ladies Rum and Alta Calibre, My Cash Factor, Mimi's Holiday, and Sarah's Dancer, 118-4. They're off. Spirit Bear out a bit slowly. Good speed from the outside for Dreaming of Hope, who's quick to the lead, but now being joined by Really Thirsty under restraint. And that causes Abitibi to have to take a hard check back to last. Now Spirit Bear trying to make a rally on the outside. Also racing close to the pace are Firecracker Fiona and Periwinkle. It's a bit of a messy opening section of this race, but the lead belongs to Dreaming of Hope and Zerrell Ford. They went the opening quarter in 22-4. They race within the 3.5. It's Firecracker Fiona and Reyes in second. Really Thirsty getting going again on the inside under Gaskin. Periwinkle has been 3 deep throughout under Zenteno. Then it's Spirit Bear, who tried to make an early run but now appears to be stalling. Well back to the troubled Abitibi. Dreaming of Hope skips open 4 lengths as she completes the half in 45-2. Really Thirsty is in second, coming off the inside as Spirit Bear going to try and re-rally along the rail, but as they reach the furlong pole, nobody has threatened Dreaming of Hope to this point. Here comes Periwinkle down the far outside. Spirit Bear coming up the rail. Dreaming of Hope begins to tire, but has enough of a cushion and will hold on. Dreaming of Hope by 2 over Spirit Bear, then Periwinkle, Really Thirsty, Abitibi, and Firecracker Fiona. 6 furlongs in 1:10. They're off over the mile, 16th. Out a bit slowly was Ghost Hero, Mad Dog and Joe making a rush for the early lead, but my math is correct, intent on keeping him honest in the early running. Lasting Silence going to find himself in a good position third, about 6 lengths off this early speed duel, with Mannix in the orange sixth, Silks to his outside. Then we have Scat Factor racing in mid-pack, a length better than YMCA. A gap of 2 to Thelonious, racing on the outside of Ghost Hero. In the early trailer out wide is Le Grand Garçon. Look at that opening quarter for the mile and the 16th. 22-2. It's sprint-like fractions up top. My math is correct, and Mad Dog and Joe have opened up 8 on Lasting Silence, who bides his time under Crawford all alone in third. It's another 2.5 to Mannix in fourth. Then we have Scat Factor fifth, Ghost Hero sixth, YMCA seventh, a gap of 3 to Le Grand Garçon, who has now overtaken Thelonious. 45 seconds flat to the half. They race into the sunset turn. The leaders begin to tire. Mad Dog and Joe on the outside. My math is correct on the rail. Lasting Silence gains on them with every stride and is about to take the lead like they're standing still. Here comes a rally up the inside from Scat Factor in mid-pack, passing Mannix, Ghost Hero to the outside. Le Grand Garçon getting going from the back. Nothing from YMCA, and Thelonious trails. 1:10-3 for 3/4. They reach the head of the lane, and Lasting Silence is now in a race of his own. He's up by 7 lengths. Scat Factor is into second and moving well. Sanchez looking behind him. Here comes Le Grand Garçon from last. It's still Lasting Silence on top. He has a 5-length cushion and a 1/16 of a mile to home. Now just 70 yards. Lasting Silence, beautifully ridden, beautifully tripped, a beautiful score. Lasting Silence and Juan Crawford by 4 over Scat Factor, Le Grand Garçon, Mannix, Ghost Hero, Thelonious, YMCA. My math is correct, and Mad Dog and Joe, 142-4. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fort Erie Racetrack on a beautiful Tuesday twilight card of racing. It is a sunny day outside, 26 degrees Celsius or 79 Fahrenheit, with a bit of a breeze coming out of the west at 6 miles per hour. Main track is fast and we are on the turf today. It is listed as yielding with the rails out at 12 feet, 29 minutes to first post. Visit our website, fortierieracing.com, for information about everything going on here at the track. Tune into the pre-race show for info about the track conditions, scratches and changes, handicapping, and info about upcoming races and events. Racing is back next week at Fort Erie, Monday and Tuesday. Post time will be 4:30. Be sure to stick around if you're on track with us tonight. After the last race, we'll have our free concert at the Tiki Bar featuring Almost Cool. Be sure to come out for Fort Foodie Fest, sponsored by TELUS Pure Fiber Internet, Sunday, August 30th, live racing in the Food Truck Festival starting at 12:15. The road to the Triple Crown begins this weekend. Watch the King's Plate on Saturday, August 15th here at the Fort Erie Racebook. And mark your calendars, the 91st running of the Prince of Wales Stakes is coming up on Labor Day, September 7th. Returning this year for Prince of Wales Day is the fashion contest. The best dressed ladies will win a gift certificate to Lasting Impressions Lifestyle Boutique in Ridgeway. The purse of the Prince of Wales Stakes this year has been lifted to $500,000. There's also purse increases on the Lake Erie and Rondeau Bay Stakes. Nearly $1 million up for grabs on Prince of Wales Day for one of Canada's best days of thoroughbred racing. Be sure to come out for Track-O-Lantern on Monday, October 12th. Starting at noon, kids in costume can trick or treat around the track. Treat your team to an exciting day at the races. It's only $15 per person. The track pack includes one food item, one drink, and a Fort Erie live racing program. For more information, go to our website. We're having non-winning ticket draws today at Fort Erie. The draws will take place after the fourth race. Today's draws feature a dog goodie bag courtesy of Pet Food Outlet. Be sure to book your table in the Turfside Dining Room, open on live racing days. Reservations are recommended. Head down to the Paddock Shack for burgers, hot dogs, sausages, fries, and poutine, plus beer and soft drinks, located near the walking ring. Become a member of HPIBet.com today. Get $100 when you bet $100, plus your first bet is on us. Tune into your TV Niagara for the Fort Erie Race Replay Show, Channel 70 HD or 100 Epico. Thursdays at 10:30, Saturdays at 4, and Sundays at noon. Jackpot High Five wagering offered in Race 6 today. The carryover is up to $6,182.58. Smoking is allowed in designated areas only at Fort Erie Racetrack. No food or beverage are allowed in these areas, and no cannabis is allowed on the property. Up next are today's changes. In Race 1, we have a rider change on the number 4, Happy Quad. Make the rider Juan Crawford. Correct the weight to 122 pounds. In Race 2, we have a rider change on the number 7, Waitin' on Griffith. Make the rider Deshaun Gaskin. In Race 3, we have a rider change on the number 4, Team Almasty. Make the rider Brian Shane. We also have a rider change on the number 5, Whiskey Tango Disco. Make the rider Pierre Mailhot. Race 4 is clear, no changes in the 4th. Race 5, we are waiting for a rider on the number 2, Golden Spring. Number 2, Golden Spring rider is to be announced. In Race 6, we have a rider change on the number 4, Super Serenade. Make the rider Deshaun Gaskin. Number 7, No Visor. Rider change to Edgar Zenteno. He'll be 1 pound over at 121 pounds. And a rider change on the number 8, Powaka. Make the rider Luis Reyes. Fast and yielding for a 6-race card today here at Fort Erie. $6,000 up for grabs in the Jackpot High Five, which is a competitive group of 10 on the turf. Some great racing action here at Fort Erie today. Let's take a look at our selections on today's card. Race 1 is a $5,000 claimer for the 3-year-olds and up, which haven't won a race this year or which have never won 4. 6 furlongs to distance, and it's a field of 5 to kick off the early pick 4 on today's card. Going to the center of the gate here with the number 3, Kentucky Bill, looking for his second win in a row for Kirk Johnson and Danny Wills. His first start here at Fort Erie, he broke a bit slowly and didn't seem to like the kickback of the dirt, but then last time on July 27th, broke sharply, made the lead, and was never really threatened. And he beat a couple of class droppers that day. So I don't think he'll have too big of a problem with the move up to the 5,000 non-winners of 4 level. I think the most talented horse in this field on the outside is the number 5, Commander Joe. Helen Vanek and Nick Malini Jr. team up with this one. There's 2 Nick Malini entrants in this race. Commander Joe was a winner 2 starts ago over Cantucci and a slow starting Where Is Essa, but couldn't fend off Where Is Essa last time when battling on the lead and giving way to be 3rd. He should have speed from the outside. We'll see if he can outsprint Kentucky Bill. Then the number 4, Happy Quad, was flat in his return to Fort Erie on July 28th at the 62.50 level. Just fell back and never really got involved. That was a much tougher field, I think. I know this horse isn't at his best on the dirt, but he's not terrible on the dirt, and I think he can run on for a small share with leading rider Juan Crawford picking up the mount. Race 2 is a $4,000 maiden claimer for 3-year-olds and up, 5.5 furlongs to distance, and the pick 5 starts today. Only one pick 5 on today's card. I think there's a clear one to beat with the number 3, Silent Mort for Nick Malini Jr. and Helen Vanek. Silent Mort ran a pretty good race when dropping in for 62.50 last time. Got beat 7.5 lengths by the runaway Hard Performer, who had been sitting on a win, and then Tannist, who was coming in from Woodbine. Now we're getting the drop in for 4,000, and there's just not a lot to beat in this field. One that you might want to take a look at is a first-time starter, the number 5, Busted Trust. It's always a little tough to take a first-time starter in a race this cheap. They're kind of showing you what they think they have. He was a vet scratch in a maiden 8 on July 21st. Now he shows back up here. Had a 48-3 workout on July 27th. The works don't look terrible. Juan Crawford and Sharon Chicotto have been a very live combination all season, so we'll see what this son of Super Speedy has to offer at the bottom level. Then the number 7, Waiting on Griffith, broke slow and never got involved when debuting in the slop on July 21st. Adds Lasix, gets a fast track, halves in value. We'll see what this one can do with Deshaun Gaskin picking up the mount for owner-trainer Kevin Buttigieg. We're on the turf for race 3. It's a maiden allowance for 3-year-olds and up, going the about 7 furlong distance. Late pick 4 starts here, and we've got a field of 8 set to go. One coming in from Woodbine for Colebrook Farms and Patrick Dixon is the number 7, Wonderful Quality. This is a son of Essential Quality, Jalon Samuel, coming down for the ride. This one's just been in too tough at Woodbine at the maiden allowance level there. They bring him here looking for an easy spot where they can still protect him. I just think the class relief should be enough to make him a factor. Obviously, it's a big difference, maiden allowance at Woodbine to a maiden allowance here at Fort Erie. The number 3, Peely Island, had a good effort on the turf on July 27th, stalked the pace, made a bid in the stretch, and just couldn't hold off the deep closing first-time starter Galileo Street. But both of his efforts here at Fort Erie have been good. He draws well. Deshaun Gaskin riding for trainer Joan Mitchell, who had a winner yesterday. Then the number 2, Wood Glen Court. He comes out of the same race as Peely Island. He tracked the pace and just flattened out to be 5th as the favorite. It was a disappointing effort. But his 2 efforts before that were good, a 2nd behind Speedy Connection on the dirt and a 3rd behind Sunset Skippy and Speedy Connection on the turf back on June 29th. Edgar Zenteno rides this one for Bill and Janelle McMahon. Could rebound, 8-1 morning line. Quote, makes him worth a look. Race 4 is an allowance race for non-winners of 3, going 6.5 furlongs. It is a field of 5 to kick off the late pick 4. Or late pick 3 on today's card, sorry. I'm going to the number 3, Cooler Man. Nice to see Mikey David with a winner yesterday aboard Hot Omelette. Cooler Man had 2 good runner-up finishes in his first 2 starts at Fort Erie. Then last time on July 12th, he ran 4th, but he was beaten less than a length for the place spot. It was a good run, just globe-trotting was too good for them that day. He had a pretty wide trip that day. I think today Cooler Man will be able to save a bit more ground. Should be in position for a good effort. Number 2, Glinton Daddy's Eye, likely to be favored here, going for Luis Reyes, Tony Adamo, and the team of Icon Racing and Bermuda Blue Farm. Second best behind my math is correct last time out. Just couldn't get by in the stretch. Before that was a good third, actually 2 good thirds, both times behind Cooler Man on June 14th and June 30th. Could be a speed threat from the inside. And then the number 4, Back River, making his first start of the year. Back River was claimed for $7,500 at Woodbine last year in July and took a couple starts to get going, but ran a very big race to be beaten a half length to Go-Kart Mozart in the Lake Erie Stakes on Prince of Wales Day, going for $100,000. He was 64-1 that day, ran absolutely huge, then came back on October 20th and ran a distant third after making a bid on the turn. We'll see how he comes back in his first start of the year for Desmond Maynard and Deshaun Bino. Race 5 kicks off the late double. It's a 5,000 claimer for the mares which haven't won a race this year or which have never won 4. $5,000 the claiming tag, 5.5 furlongs the distance. And looking to the outside, the number 7, Super Cop, was a runaway winner for $4,000 on July 21st. Showed speed and just drew off to win by nearly 7. And I think she's going to be the main speed here off the claim for Julie Mathis and Bruno Schickedans. Juan Crawford retains the mount, and we'll see if she can double up. I think she looks very live here. On the inside, American, of course, the 9-year-old mare going for Tony Adamo and Icon. Luis Reyes will be in the saddle again. She was a gate-to-wire winner on July 6th at the $4,000 level, beating Pop Chart and Frackamore. Then came back 3 weeks later at this level and had a pretty easy lead, but just couldn't hold off Silent Passion. It was just a clear second best that day. This is a nice mare. 10 wins, 10 runner-up finishes, 8 thirds and 40 starts. She likes her job, but 9 years old, you know, there's some rust there, and she's not always going to come with her very best. We'll see what she can do here from the inside. Then the number 6, Van Du, has been racing well all season. Her only real poor effort was a 6th place finish where she had a bit of a bump turning for home at Woodbine in a starter optional 10. But here at Fort Erie, she fits. She ran 3rd for $62.50 last time. Now she's dropping in for 5. Deshaun Gaskin rides this one for Joe Humber and Joy Elkins. Last race of the day, race 6 is a $62.50 claimer for fillies and mares which have never won 3. We're going about 7 furlongs over the turf course, and we have a full field of 10. The main track only number 11, Brazilian Legacy, is still in, but I doubt that we'll be off the turf by then. This is a competitive race too. I didn't really know what to do here. I ended up going to the number 5, Princess on a Mission, who was beaten 42 lengths on July 20th. Stumbled at the start, never got involved. That was a non-2 allowance against the boys. I don't think she's a dirt horse. She's by Noble Mission, a European influence out of an Old Forester mare, and Old Foresters can be hit and miss on the dirt. I thought her turf race 2 starts ago wasn't terrible. Again, against the boys, just never really fired, but she was still, you know, in the pack throughout. 3 starts ago, she was 2nd at Woodbine behind Aussie Hyper. We get in for a tag. I know it's a non-2 facing non-3s, and I know she's 1 for 29, but I think with a good trip on the turf at this level, she could turn things around. Deshaun Bino riding for Sue Andrushko. On the inside, number 1, Night Saber, is getting back to the turf for the first time this year for owner-trainer Barb Bailey. Mikey David picking up the mount on this one, who's been ridden by Chad Lee in racing starts. Her last 3 starts have been good efforts. She ran on to be 4th after a poor start last time. The 2 starts before that, she was 2nd. She has a win on the turf. We get that inside draw, and I don't think the stretch out to the extended 7 furlongs is a bad thing for her. But like I said, this is such a competitive race. You can see me and Ashley have completely different picks here. And I mean, I could make a case for all 3 of Ashley's horses too. This is not an easy race. You could go in a lot of directions here. My third choice is the number 3, In It to Win It, Jalon Samuel, riding this one for Kevin Buttigieg and Colebrook Farms. Rallied to be third behind Coach Kaylee last time at this level. She's a bit of a hit or miss type, but she does do her best running on this Fort Erie turf. Has a good post, and that last effort was very respectable. 2 starts ago, she had a bit of trouble going into that first turn. We'll see if she can come running at the end. So there you have it, a look at our 6-race card today. 14 minutes to post. Best of luck with all of your wagers. Enjoy this beautiful Tuesday here at Fort Erie, and stick around after the last race for the free concert from Almost Cool.
It's easy to make a bet on HPIBet.com. Follow these simple steps and you'll be betting in no time. First, go to the HPIBet.com website. Sign in to your HPIBet account. Find the track and race you want to bet on. Click on the Place Bet button. Click on the bet type you want to wager with. Click on the amount you want to wager. Click on the horse you want to wager on. Click on the green Place Bet button. Review your bet confirmation information. It's all done. Remember, all this can be done on most mobile devices. Now cheer on your pick to victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just been informed that there's a misplaced cell phone at customer service. So if you've misplaced your cell phone, please head to customer service to reclaim it. Field is making their way on track for today's first race. Race 1 is a claimer for 3-year-olds and up which have not won a race in 2026 or which have never won 4 races. We're going for a claiming price of $5,000 down to $4,750. Traveling a distance of 6 furlongs, competing for a purse of $20,250. Race 1 offers win, place, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent super, 20-cent pick 3, and 20-cent early pick 4 wagering. Also, ladies and gentlemen, could Medina Ahmed please report to customer service? Once again, that is Medina Ahmed. Please head to customer service. Race 1 post parade, number 1 is Bill Needle. Deshaun Gaskin riding for owner-trainer Joe Humber. Number 2 is A La Carte. Leo Salas in the saddle for trainer Nick Malini Jr. and owner Bruno Schickedans. Number 3 is Kentucky Bill. Kirk Johnson riding for trainer Danny Wills and owners Natural 8 Stable and J&B Wright Racing. Mike Glazier owns the number 4 Happy Quad. Juan Crawford picks up the mount for trainer Eric Raganoff. Completing the field, number 5 Commander Joe. Helen Vanek pilots for owner-trainer Nick Malini Jr. 3 minutes to post for race 1. Early pick 4 wagering kicks off here. Race 1 field is heading into the chute before the starting gate takes position. Not much time left to get your Race 1 wagers in. Current favorite at 9-5 is the number 5 Commander Joe. Close second choice at 2-1 is number 3 Kentucky Bill. This race kicks off the first pick 4 on today's card. Get those wagers in. Last call to wager on Race 1. Race 1 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. Favoritism still on the number 5 Kentucky Joe. He's been Commander Joe. He's been bet down to 4-5. Kentucky Bill is the 2-1 second choice. First in is Bill Needle with Deshaun Gaskin, a la carte and Leo Salas in the Bruno Chicadan Silks. Last out winner, Kentucky Bill and Kirk Johnson. Happy Quad and Juan Crawford. Last in will be the favorite, Commander Joe and Helen Vanek. All set for the first of 6 here at Fort Erie today. They're off. Bit slow out of the gate was Kentucky Bill. Commander Joe didn't also get out as fast as he'd like either, and that puts Happy Quad on a short early lead with a la carte to his inside. Commander Joe stalking on the outside third, joining the early fray, and coming to the outside as well as Kentucky Bill. Bill Needle is the early trailer. They raced within the half. The opening quarter was 22-2. It's a la carte and Leo Salas with the head in front of Happy Quad and Juan Crawford. They're being watched by Commander Joe, who's joining the battle in the 3-path under Helen Vanek. Kirk Johnson asked Kentucky Bill to get going from fourth on the outside, but he's about to be passed by Bill Needle. Midway around the turn, the same three have been on top throughout. It's a la carte trying to dispose of Happy Quad. Commander Joe is into second. The Malini stablemates are 1-2 at the head of the lane, and now a la carte is trying to shake loose. The half was 45-2. It's a la carte on top by 2. Commander Joe beginning to tire. Bill Needle tries to rally up the inside at the 16th pole. A la carte has looked strong throughout. He's opened up 5, and he's going to cruise into an easy score. A la carte and Leo Salas by 5, then Bill Needle, Commander Joe, Happy Quad, and Kentucky Bill. 6 furlongs and 110 flat. Unofficial in race 1, the winner is number 2, A La Carte. Second, number 1, Bill Needle. Third, number 5, Commander Joe. And fourth, number 4, Happy Quad. Unofficial race 1 order, 2-1-5-4. Back in front of us, returning to the winner's circle, is the unofficial winner of today's first race, number 2, A La Carte. A La Carte is an 8-year-old bay gelding by Uncle Mo out of Lee Court, bred in Kentucky by Speedway Stables, LLC. Finding more on the front end under Leo Salas, A La Carte is trained by Nick Malini Jr. for Bruno Chickadans. That's the second win of the season and the fourth lifetime win in 29 starts for A La Carte, who completes the 6 furlongs today in a time of 1:10 flat. Congratulations to the connections of A La Carte. Hold all tickets until race 1 is made official. And race 1 is now official. Prices are up. A La Carte returns $5.90 to win, $3.50 and $2.30. Long shot number 1, Bill Needle, was up for second, $9.90 to place, $3.70. Third, number 5, Commander Joe, $2.20 to show. $2 exacta 2-1, $32.40. The $1 try, 2-1-5, $34.40. $1 super, 2-1-5-4, $76.40. And we'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Kian, celebrating with us today. Happy birthday, Kian, from all of your friends and family here at Fort Erie Racetrack. We'd like to give a shout out to our partners at True Green Professional Lawn Care, who have been helping us keep the grass looking green and lush. And we're also proud to partner with Oneida New Holland of Niagara. We'd like to thank them for providing us with a tractor for our racetrack maintenance. Race 2 is coming up next. An overweight on the number 6, Rum Talk, 1 pound over at 119. And a rider change on the number 7, Waiting on Griffith, make the rider Deshaun Gaskin. 18 minutes to post for race 2.
Race 2 going to kick off the pick 5. It's 5.5 furlongs here on the main track for these maiden claimers. Claiming price of $4,000. It's a really tough group to go through, and I think you kind of look at some of these horses and they've had their fair share of chances. They really haven't blossomed yet, and maybe they just find their friends today, and that certainly could be the case with a few. But with that sort of thought here of horses already maybe showing their true colors, I do go to the first-time starter in here, the 5, Bust the Trust here, a son of Super Speedy, who's going to make the debut here for Sharon Chicato. This is actually a full sibling to a horse that we've seen here at Fort Erie on several occasions, Cantucci, who's been a little bit of a sprinter here on the main track. I think looking at Bust the Trust and the workouts, to me, the workouts are good enough to suggest that this one could certainly find himself in the Warner Circle on debut. They've all been a little bit on the quicker side, most recently 48-3 just about 2 weeks ago. So I'll use him on top here. Juan Crawford riding lights out before his little time away and then since coming back here. So we'll go with this one on top. We'll just go with the fresh face. We'll look at some others, though. I think if you're looking at the horses with race day experience, the current favorite at 4-5, the 3 Silent Mort is the one to gravitate towards. It's been third best in those last 2, but I feel like you can maybe make some excuses. The first one, it was an off track. He tried to chase from off of it. He was unable to get the job done, but look at the winner. The winner went gate to wire, just stole it on the front end, and then the runner-up comes back to win and wins what? Well, wins this horse's following outing, where I feel like he chased in vain, and Hard Performer was able to control once again when we talk about these races on the front end. So I do think Silent Mort finds himself in a perfect spot. He takes a little bit of a drop down once again, and you can look at him. He's been in some tough spots early on in his career, especially that second career race. We'll see Highway to the Moon here just on this weekend out at Woodbine in the Plate. So I'm going to factor that in. I think out of the race day experience horses, he is the one to beat. And then finally from here, looked at the 6, looked at the 7, thought the 7 waiting on Griffith maybe just needed that debut last time out. He's a pretty big horse. Took him a while to get going. And I think with that in mind, I'm not really sure he wants to go 5.5, but you have to think he learned something in that race. He gets Lasix for the first time today, and another one that takes a little bit of a drop down in class. He exits that same race as Silent Mort, so he'll obviously need to do better, but we'll see if that's the case here second time out. But for me, go with the fresh face in here with the first time starter, the 5, Bust the Trust on top. Best of luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's second race. Race 2 is a maiden claimer for 3-year-olds and up, going for a claiming price of $4,000 down to $3,750, traveling a distance of 5 1/2 furlongs, competing for a purse of $18,000. Race 2 offers win, place, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent super, 20-cent pick 3, and 20-cent pick 5 wagering. Race 2 post parade, number 1 is Solo Surging. Brian Shane rides for trainer Roy Augustino and owner Even Stevens Stables. Number 2 is Team Talabat. Ishmael Mascara has the call for trainer Paula Loescher and owner Christopher Colaleo. Number 3 is Silent Mort. Helen Vanek rides for trainer Nick Malini Jr. and owners Winston and Carol Wilkinson. Sergio Magrin owns the number 4 Malmer. Michael David rides for trainer Roy Augustino. Number 5 is Bust the Trust. Juan Crawford in the saddle for trainer Sharon Chicotto and owner Mary Biamont. Number 6 is Rum Talk. Robert Stewart riding for trainer Ron Sadler and owner Omar Dixon. Completing the field, number 7, Waitin' on Griffith. Deshaun Gaskin picks up the mount for owner-trainer Kevin Buttigieg. 1 minute to post for race 2. Pick 5 wagering kicks off here. Starting gate is in position. Not much time left to get your race 2 wagers in. Current favorite at 8-5 is the number 3 Silent Mort. 2-1 second choice, the number 5 Bust the Trust. And race 2 field is now approaching the starting gate. Last call to get those pick 5 wagers in, because it is now post time. First to go up will be Solo Surging and Brian Shane. Adding the blinkers for his second start. Team Talabat with Ishmael Mascara. Silent Mort and Helen Vanek. Malmer and Mikey David. First-time starter Bust the Trust and Juan Crawford. Robert Stewart aboard Rum Talk. And the last in will be Waitin' on Griffith with Deshaun Gaskin. All set. They're off. Silent Mort was out well. Speed from the far outside for Waitin' on Griffith, who broke much better this time. Malmer finds himself in the early fray, third between horses, with Bust the Trust to his outside. Solo Surging much more interested this time. He's fifth down along the rail. It's a gap of 3 to a hard-ridden Rum Talk and Team Talabat. They reached a 3.5. It's a contested early pace. Opening quarter was 23 flat. Waitin' on Griffith made his way to the inside from the widest draw. He has Silent Mort battling to his outside. They've opened up 2.5 on Bust the Trust, who's alone. Malmer begins to lose position, racing on the outside of his stablemate Solo Surging. Team Talabat trying to get going from the back, and the trailer is still Rum Talk. Into the stretch they race. It's still a battle between Waitin' on Griffith and Silent Mort within the furlong pole. It's well back to the first-time starter, Bust the Trust. But now Waitin' on Griffith and Deshaun Gaskin are getting away from the competition. They've opened up 4 and extending the margin. Waitin' on Griffith waits for nobody. Waitin' on Griffith by 4. Silent Mort, then Bust the Trust. Malmer and Team Talabat in a photo for 4th, then Solo Surging and Rum Talk. 104 and 4. Unofficial in race 2, the winner is number 7, Waitin' on Griffith. Second, number 3, Silent Mort. Third, number 5, Bust the Trust. It's a photo for 4th. Hold all tickets. In the 4th place photo, it's the number 4, Malmer. Unofficial race 2 numbers are 7354. Back in front of us, returning to the winner's circle, is the unofficial winner of today's second race, number 7, Waitin' on Griffith. Waitin' on Griffith is a 4-year-old chestnut gelding by Reload out of Briskly, bred here in Ontario by Suzanne Collicutt. Deshaun Gaskin picks up the winning ride for owner-trainer Kevin Buttigieg. Waitin' on Griffith takes the class drop for his second start and wins impressively, completing the 5.5 furlongs in a time of 104 and 4. Congratulations to the connections of Waitin' on Griffith. Hold all tickets until race 2 is made official. Race 2 is now official. Prices are up. Waiting on Griffith returns $11 to win, 510 and 260. Second, number 3, Silent Mort, 270 to place 210. Third, number 5, Bust the Trust, 220 to show. $2 exacta, 7-3, 23.30. The $1 try, 7.35, 26.30. $1 super, 7.354, 75.40. And the $2 double, 2.7, 65.50. On screen now is the 4th place photo from race 2. We had a claim out of race 2, the number 5, Bust the Trust, claimed by David Mathis, moves to the barn of trainer Julie Mathis. And we'd like to wish a happy 50th birthday to one of our own, Amanda. Happy birthday, Amanda, from all of your friends and family here at Fort Erie Racetrack. And a reminder to stick around after the last race for the rescheduled Almost Cool concert down at the Tiki Bar. Race 3 is up next, an overweight on the number 1. I Like It When It Snows, 1 pound over at 123. Rider change on the number 4, Team Almasty, make the rider Brian Shane. And a rider change on the number 5, Whiskey Tango Disco, make the rider Pierre Mailhot. 18 minutes to post for race 3.
Race 3 up next. We're on the grass here at about 7 furlongs. It's a maiden special weight event with a field of 8 going postward. And looking at the early money, it's been on the 7. Wonderful Quality here for Colebrook Farms. Pat Dixon, the conditioner, a horse that's getting some class relief. You might not think it if you just looked at the conditions, but then you see those maiden special weights. They've been up at Woodbine, so some significant class relief here for the 7. Wonderful Quality. I'll use this horse, but I will go with a horse that has a start over this turf course, and that's the number 3 in here, Peely Island, for the Joan Mitchell barn. A horse that was second best last time out behind Galileo Street, who I believe was a first-time starter. One thing I know for sure, horse had a beautiful pedigree and can run all day long and was able to really deliver there nicely. So I think this is a horse that'll be better second time out here on the grass, and just the 3rd start this year and second time going long. So I'll use this one on top here. I think just needs to run about the same race, maybe a little bit of a step forward to get the job done. I'll also look at some others in here. I mentioned the 7, Wonderful Quality. I think when you do look at this horse getting class relief in the Byers, even though this horse has been well defeated, double digits in terms of lengths in all 5 career starts, you have to think this is the right spot for this one. And it does have a nice pedigree, top and bottom. So I just think this horse coming here, this is a spot for him to hopefully graduate. So you have to use him somewhere. And then finally, looking at some others in here, the one I like it when it snows. This is a horse that I've looked at a couple of times, and you just kind of look at the body of work. The race that stands out is the Lone Turf Try. 2 starts back, where this one was 4th, beaten by 2 3/4 lengths. I think in terms of trip, was far off of it, tried to rally, did so, flattened a little bit though in the deep stretch. And then for him, I should say, it was his first start off the freshening. So really, I'm going to draw a line through last time out and kind of the trip that he got and the fact that it was on the dirt. I do think he could take a step forward here, returning to the grass and just making his 3rd start this year. As I mentioned, by far his best race in terms of figures was his first start of the year here, going today's distance of about 7 furlongs. But for me, I'll see if the 3 can just do a little bit better here and maybe graduate here in the 5th career start, and that's Peely Island. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's third race. Race 3 is a maiden allowance race for 3-year-olds and up, traveling about 7 furlongs over the turf course, competing for a purse of $26,550. Race 3 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent super, 20-cent pick 3, and 20-cent late pick 4 wagering. Race 3 post parade. Number 1 is I Like It When It Snows. Leo Salas rides for trainer Doug Carter, who owns with Terry Carter. Number 2 is Wood Glen Court. Edgar Zenteno in the saddle for trainer Bill McMahon and owner Janelle McMahon. Andrew Roberts owns the number 3 Peely Island. Deshaun Gaskin in the saddle for trainer Joan Mitchell. Number 4 is Team Almasty. Brian Shane picks up the mount for trainer Corey McChesney and owner Canny Ing. Number 5 is Whiskey Tango Disco. Pierre Mailhot picks up the mount for trainer Tony Bennett and owner Jam Down Stable. Number 6 is Alzado, racing for Even Stevens Stables. Luis Reyes rides for trainer Roy Augustino. Number 7 is Wonderful Quality. Jelon Samuel rides for trainer Patrick Dixon and owner Colebrook Farms. Completing the field, number 8, Rose for Carrick. Kirk Johnson rides for trainer Julie Mathis and owner Bruno Schickadans. 1 minute to post for race 3. We are on the turf to kick off the late pick 4. Starting gate is taken position on the turf course. Horse is about to cross over. Not much time left to get your race 3 wagers in. 5-2 favorite is the number 3, Peely Island. 3-1 second choice, the number 7, Wonderful Quality. This race kicks off a competitive late pick 4 sequence here at Fort Erie. Get those wagers in. Last call to get your race 4 wagers in. Race 3 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. First leg of the late pick 4 on today's card, and we have a competitive group of maidens going a circuit of the turf course here at the extended 7 furlongs. First up will be I Like It When It Snows and Leo Salez, looking for his second win on the card. Goes up. Wood, Glencord, and Edgar Zenteno to gate 2. Deshaun Gaskin also looking for his second win of the day. He's aboard Peely Island. Team Almasty makes his Fort Erie debut under Brian Shane. Whiskey Tango Disco and Pierre Mailhot. Alzado and Luis Reyes. Backs out. I Like It When It Snows, a bit restless in the gate. Alzado still a bit fractious behind the gate. Luis Reyes has jumped off. And Alzado has loaded without the rider. Luis Reyes to climb back aboard. Wonderful Quality. Another first newcomer here to Fort Erie with Jelon Samuel aboard. As Luis Reyes gets reseated on Alzado. Wonderful Quality comes up. The last in will be Rose for Carrick. Rider is off. Kirk Johnson will climb back aboard once Rose for Carrick steps in. He's in. Kirk Johnson to get set, and we'll be all set for race 3. They're off. Peely Island stumbled slightly at the start. Alzado showing some speed, and now Peely Island recovers. Wood Glencord also racing forwardly with I Like It When It Snows, taking a stalking roll down along the inside. Wonderful Quality is racing out wide. Then we have Team Almasty, Rose for Carrick, and the early trailer is Whiskey Tango Disco. 5.5 furlongs to travel, and it's a battle up front between Woodglen Court and Alzado. These two have opened up about 7 lengths on I Like It When It Snows. It's a length to Wonderful Quality in 4th. Team Almasty on the inside, then Rose for Carrick out 3 deep. Whiskey Tango Disco has now overtaken Peely Island. 24-2 for the first quarter. They're midway down the backside, and now Woodglen Court trying to shake clear of Alzado. He's up by a length, but the next are closing in. I Like It When It Snows on the inside with Team Almasty. Then we have Rose for Carrick trying to rally past Wonderful Quality, Whiskey Tango Disco, and it's well back to Peely Island, who doesn't seem to be handling the yield and going. 49-3, and now there's a change in leader. Team Almasty sticks the neck in front of Woodglen Court, who's still moving well on the front end. I Like It When It Snows, trying to come off the inside to launch a rally. Wonderful Quality moving well on the rail, and Whiskey Tango Disco. 3 across the track at the 8th pole. I Like It When It Snows puts the head in front. Woodglen Court trying to dig back in, and here's Whiskey Tango Disco. But I Like It When It Snows got the jump. He's opened up 3 lengths, and it's I Like It When It Snows. I Like It When It Snows and Leo Salas win by 4, geared down at the wire. Whiskey Tango Disco, then Rose for Carrick, Woodglen Court, Wonderful Quality. Team Almasty, Alzado, and Peely Island. 132 flat. Unofficial in race 3, the winner is number 1, I Like It When It Snows. Second, number 5, Whiskey Tango Disco. Third, number 8, Rose for Carrick. And fourth, number 2, Woodglen Court. Unofficial race 3 order, 1-5-8-2. Back in front of us, returning to the winner's circle, is the unofficial winner of today's third race. Number 1, I Like It When It Snows. I Like It When It Snows is a 5-year-old dark bay or brown gelding by Seattle Serenade out of Lucky Melissa, a homebred here in Ontario for owners Doug and Terry Carter. Leo Salas with his second winning ride of the day, I Like It When It Snows, breaks the maiden in start number 7, handling the yield and going and kicking on to complete the about 7 furlongs in a winning time of 132 flat. Congratulations to the connections of I Like It When It Snows. Hold all tickets until race 3 is made official. And race 3 is now official. Prices are up. I Like It When It Snows returns $8.80 to win, $5 and $3.80. Second, number 5, Whiskey Tango Disco, $12.10 to place, $7. And third, number 8, Rose for Carrick, $5.80 to show. $2 exacta, $1.5, $86.60. The $1 try, $1.58, $430.75. $1 super, $1.582, $1,642.10. $2 double, 7-1, $94.20. And the $1 pick 3, $159.10. I'd like to give a shout out to our partners at Niagara Rhinoplasty of Dr. Jeff M. Robichaux. Contact info on screen now, located at 23 Hanover Drive in St. Catharines. And a shout out to our partners at All-in-One Legal Concierge. If you have legal hurdles, you can bet on All-in-One. Race 4 is coming up in 18 minutes. There are one change. An overweight on the number 1 Times a Breeze, 1 pound over at 123.
Time for the late pick 3 here in race number 4. It's an allowance event for non-winners of 3 lifetime. They'll compete here on the main track at 6.5 furlongs. It's a compact field, but I did feel like it was an interesting one from the fact that I don't know if I necessarily wholeheartedly trust one horse in here for a variety of reasons. We have a horse that has shown ability but racing off the layoff. We have a horse that didn't fare too well last time out but maybe had some excuses. And then I look at a horse like Glitton Daddy's Eye. He's just been kind of coming up a little bit short in his races. So with that in mind, I am going to go to the 4 Back River, who will have to prove himself off the layoff today at the age of 4, but went back to some of his races last year. He's finished behind Glitton's Daddy's Eyes. He's finished in front of that one. And just go back to a really nice second place finish 2 starts back in the Lake Erie, where he couldn't catch Go-Kart Mozart, a next out winner who's just been pretty hardy in the stakes ranks up at Woodbine. He got the pace help that he needed. He was able to roll from off of it. We only saw him one more time after that race where he did show some early foot. He flattened, but I find him to be very interesting in here. I don't know if he's going to be ready off the bench, and I think when it comes down to him, it really comes down to the price here on Back River. But the barn, Des Maynard's having a good season so far from a limited number of runners, and I thought that was maybe the horse to focus in on. Now, the 2, Glitton's Daddy's Eye is one of those horses you're not shocked if he wins, but I also don't necessarily trust him when I look at his last 3. He's been close. He hasn't been able to do it. And it's almost like he waits for other horses in the stretch run and he flattens a little bit. I don't want to call him a hanger, but that's what it sort of feels like in my opinion. And, you know, they haven't made an equipment change on him at least come the afternoons here. So that just gave me a little bit of a slight reservation. I think if you're looking at the pick 3, you have to respect him. But how short of a price do you want to take on him is the main question that you have to answer. And I don't want to go too short on him against this bunch. And one other horse to mention, the number 3, Cooler Man. The more I look at him, the more I think he has the ability here to pick up his 3rd career victory. I think when you look at his 3 starts this year at Fort Erie, he ran very well in those first 2. Sterling Castle, I think, has been a nice horse here this meet. Short Story Long was able to rally from off of it, and this horse only missed by a neck. Then you look at last time out, favored and just failed to fire. But you have 3 races in a 4-week span, and last time we saw him was July 12th. So now he's had that month to regroup. I think that's going to be the key here with Cooler Man. He had 3 tough races. He was flat in that 3rd one. Give him the time. And kind of looking at him when he came over, I thought he looked quite good. So the more I look at Cooler Man, the more I gravitate towards him. But when I looked at it over the weekend, the 4 Back River ends up being the top pick. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's fourth race. Race 4 is an allowance race for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. Traveling a distance of 6 1/2 furlongs, competing for a purse of $28,800. Race 4 offers win, place, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent super, and 20-cent pick 3 wagering. Race 4 post parade, number 1 is Times a Breeze. Leo Salas rides for trainer Roy Augustino and owner Hopefield Farm. Number 2 is Glint in Daddy's Eye. Luis Reyes riding for trainer Tony Adamo and owners Bermuda Blue Farm and Icon Racing Stables. Number 3 is Cooler Man. Michael David in the saddle for trainer Roy Augustino and owner Mary Lynn Augustino. Number 4 is Back River. Deshaun Bino riding for trainer Desmond Maynard and owner Nadia Donlava. Completing the field, number 5, Santiago Salsa. Alexis Sanchez has the call for trainer Ken Smith and owner Ashley Palmer. 2 minutes to post for race 4, final chance to play a pick 3 on today's card. Not too much time left to get your race 4 wagers in. Heavy favorite at 3-5 is the number 2 Glinton Daddy's Eye. 3-1 on the number 3 Cooler Man. 4-1 on number 4 Back River. Final chance to play a pick 3 today. They'll be heading to post shortly. Race 4 field set to head behind the starting gate. It is now post time. Glinton Daddy's Eye still well favored at 3-5. First to come around will be Times of Breeze. Leo Salas looking for his 3rd win on the card. Glinton Daddy's Eye and Luis Reyes at 3-5. Cooler Man and Mikey David. Back River with Deshaun Bino to gate 4. And last in will be Santiago Salsa with Alexis Sanchez. All set. They're off. Times of Breeze out a bit slowly. Good speed from Glinton Daddy's Eye and Back River. Then we have Santiago Salsa racing in 3rd, Cooler Man 4th, and Times of Breeze the early trailer. The top 2 battle. It's a short advantage to Glinton Daddy's Eye ahead to Back River. The rest are pretty well spread out. It's a gap of 5 to Santiago Salsa, about to be joined on his inside by Cooler Man, who moves into 3rd, and another 4 lengths back to Times of Breeze. First quarter was 22-2, pretty quick for the distance. It's still a battle up front between the 1-5 favorite Glinton Daddy's Eye and Luis Reyes, then Back River and Deshaun Bino. Mikey David asked Cooler Man to keep up. He's in 3rd, about 4 lengths off the speed duel, 2 lengths better than Santiago Salsa. Times of Breeze has trailed throughout. The half was 45 flat, and now Back River tries to put the head in front of Glinton Daddy's Eye. Mikey David sticking to the inside with Cooler Man. Santiago Salsa 4th, and Times of Breeze is last. Down the stretch they come. Back River has put away Glinton Daddy's Eye, but now he has to fend off the challenge of Cooler Man, who's saved all the ground. Santiago Salsa running well, and Times of Breeze from the back. Back River clinging to the lead, but Cooler Man is coming up the inside. 70 yards to the wire, and now Cooler Man pounces. Cooler Man a half to Back River. Times of Breeze came flying for 3rd, then Santiago Salsa and Glinton Daddy's Eye, 118-2. Unofficial in race 4, the winner is number 3, Cooler Man. Second, number 4, Back River. Third, number 1, Times a Breeze, and fourth, number 5, Santiago Salsa. Unofficial race 4 order, 3-4-1-5. Now returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's 4th race, number 3, Cooler Man. Cooler Man is a 5-year-old chestnut gelding by Amy's Gizmo out of Tap the Rhythm, bred here in Ontario by John Carey. Rallying up the fence to victory under Michael David, Cooler Man is trained by Roy Augustino for Mary Lynn Augustino. After a couple of near misses early in the season, Cooler Man finally gets the job done, his 3rd lifetime win in 25 starts, completing the 6 1/2 furlongs in a time of 1:18:2. Congratulations to the connections of Cooler Man. Hold all tickets until race 4 is made official. Race 4 is now official. Prices are up. Cooler Man returns $11.50 to win, $6.90 and $5.20. Second, number 4, Back River, $6.60 to place, $7.60. And third, number 1, Times a Breeze, $6.10 to show. $2 exacta, 3-4, 51.10. The $1 try, 3-4-1, 99.90. $1 super, 3-4-1-5, 407.30. $2 double, 1-3, 46.10. $1 pick 3, $291.50, and the $1 early pick 4 returned $922.75. Be sure to come out on Sunday, August 30th for Fort Foodie Fest, sponsored by TELUS Pure Fiber Internet. Live racing in the Food Truck Festival kicking off at 12:15. The Trackside Tiki Bar this year has been sponsored by The Place Bar and Grill, the place to go after the races at 981 Garrison Road. And a shout out to Portage M&A Advisory. You've already made history. Now it's time to make your future. Race 5, number 2, Golden Spring will now be ridden by Leo Salas. He'll be 1 pound over at 123. 17 minutes to post for race 5. Also, ladies and gentlemen, take note that in race 6, the main track only number 11, Brazilian Legacy, is now scratched. 17 minutes to post for race 5.
Race 5 up next, late double time. It's a claiming event for the fillies and mares, claiming price of $5,000. They'll compete here on the main track at 5.5 furlongs. In terms of the complexion of the race, I do think there's plenty of speed signed on. I'll be curious to see if some horses kind of lock up early here and what that does to the tempo. And a horse that I think, she does some good work on the front end. I'm still not convinced she needs the lead to win is the 7 Super Cop, and that's who I'm going to use. She was claimed last time out for $4,000. Technically, she jumps up today, but the way that she put it all together last time out paid off in a big way. This is a horse that kind of look at her form. It took her just a little bit to get to going, and I think a lot has to do with age, right? Just might need a couple of starts. That was the case. She took a nice step forward, second time out on the turf, and then third start off the layoff, she was able to win by nearly 7 lengths in the end, and she goes by here. She looks very good. She's carrying her weight. This is sort of always how she looks. There's always been a horse here that I think catches my eye, so I'm going to hope that she's able to work out a trip here from the outside draw, and I do think she could stalk in this event, so I'll use her on top. The One American, of course, I'm of the opinion has really one way of going, and that's towards the front, and you have to feel like with having the inside draw, your hand is forced just a little bit. Came up short in that most recent start, defeated by Silent Passion, who I thought got the perfect setup in that race. There was some speed that unfolded and was able to kind of blow by this one in the end. But for her, she is just making her third start since December. Her return to the races, she looked really good, winning that one by several lengths in the end. And I mentioned, I think if you're looking for speed, she's one of them, but she does benefit from having the inside. And from here, wide open, I looked at Traverse, who was obviously stellar last year, winning 5 races, but she hasn't quite been the same horse so far this year at the age of 9. So I ultimately go to the 6 Van Du underneath, who's been third best in those last 2, but look at her. Different than the other horses that I talked about, where their wins came at the $4,000 level. She's been facing tougher all season long. She was a game second, 3 starts back while in for 8. That earned her a spot against starter optional claiming competition, where she was third behind Because, who came back to win next time out. And then more recently, she took a little bit of a drop in class, but I do think the 2 that finished in front of her, really thirsty and getting ahead, they are respectable foes. So I do think Van Du finds herself in a perfect spot and might be the right horse in here if she can offer a little bit of value. But for me, I'll stick with the 7 Super Cop. We'll see if she can make it 2 in a row.
Field is making their way on track for today's 5th race. Race 5 is a claimer for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race this year or which have never won 4 races. We're going for a claiming price of $5,000 down to $4,750, traveling a distance of 5 1/2 furlongs, competing for a purse of $20,250. Race 5 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, and 20-cent superfecta wagering. Race 5 post parade. Number 1 is American, of course. Luis Reyes riding for trainer Tony Adamo and owner Icon Racing Stables. Number 2 is Golden Spring. Leo Salas picks up the mount for trainer Ken Smith and owner Radcliffe Racing Stable. Number 3 is Zip Fire, racing for Alton Robotham. Pierre Mailhot rides for trainer Claudia Rabstein. Number 4 is Me Tormenta. Chad Lee pilots for trainer Lindsay Hode and owner Twin Eagle Stable. Number 5 is Traverse. Helen Vanek riding for trainer Nick Malini Jr. and owner Bruno Chickadans. Number 6 is Van Du. Deshaun Gaskin rides for trainer Joe Humber and owner Joy Elkins. Completing the field, number 7, Super Cop. Juan Crawford riding for trainer Julie Mathis and owner Bruno Chickadans. 1 minute to post for race 5, late double wagering offered here. Also, ladies and gentlemen, take note we have a late overweight in race 6. The number 8, Powaka, will be 1 pound over at 121. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the winners of the non-winning ticket prize draw to announce. Could Jenny D., Teresa Henrik, and Earl Carpenter Sr. please head to customer service? Once again, that's Jenny D., Teresa Henrik, and Earl Carpenter Sr. Congratulations, you have won today's non-winning ticket prize draw. Please head to customer service to collect your prize. Starting gate taking position. Last call to get your race 5 wagers in. Current favorite at 9-5 is the number 1, American of Course. 2-1 on the number 6, Van Du. Late double wagering offered here. Last call to get your race 5 wagers in. Race 5 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. Competitive betting board as we begin loading for the first leg of the late double. First in will be the 9-year-old American of Course with Luis Reyes. Favorite at 2-1 with a couple of 5-2 shots. Close in the wagering. Zip Fire, the next to come up under Pierre Mailhot as Golden Spring is reluctant to come forwards. Me Tormenta and Chad Lee to gate 4. Traves and Helen Vanek will take their position next. Van Du and Deshaun Gaskin. Outside post for Super Cop and Juan Crawford. Super Cop comes up. And the last in will be Golden Spring, Leo Salas, aboard this mare. Golden Spring steps in. All set. They're off. Slow starts from Me Tormenta and Super Cop to the outside. Speed on the rail for American, of course, with Van Du out wide tracking the pace. Zip Fire is in early contention, a length and a half better than Traves. Then it's a gap of 5 to Super Cop, and Me Tormenta can see them all. They race within the half. It's American, of course, and Luis Reyes, a half to Golden Spring and Leo Salas. Mailhot has Zip Fire third on the inside with Van Du and Deshaun Gaskin to their outer. Then it's Traves and Helen Vanek well back to Me Tormenta and Chad Lee, and Super Cop can see them all under Juan Crawford. 22-1 for the opening quarter. American, of course, has gotten away from Golden Spring, but now going to have to deal with Zip Fire, who's under a hold coming off the inside. Van Du ridden along, asked for more. Traves trying to rally. Me Tormenta on the rail and well back to Super Cop. At the furlong pole, Zip Fire ranges up to the outside of American, of course, but has not yet gone by. Puts the head in front. American, of course, trying to dig back in. It's well back to Van Du in third. Zip Fire now going better. Zip Fire and Pierre Mailhot under a hand ride. Zip Fire by 2 over American, of course, then Van Du, Me Tormenta, Traves, Super Cop, and Golden Spring. 5.5 and 105-1. Unofficial in race 5, the winner is number 3, Zip Fire. Second, number 1, American, of course. Third, number 6, Van Du. And fourth, number 4, Me Tormenta. Unofficial race 5 order, 3-1-6-4. Now returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's 5th race, number 3, Zipfire. Zipfire is a 5-year-old bay mare by Dialed In out of Zippity Zoom, bred here in Ontario by Dr. Brian Van Aram. Stalking the pace and pouncing under Pierre Mailhot, Zipfire is trained by Claudia Rabstein for owner Alton Robotham. Second win of the season for Zipfire, her 4th lifetime win in 18 starts. She completes the 5 1/2 furlongs today in a time of 1:05.1. Congratulations to the connections of Zipfire. Hold all tickets until race 5 is made official. Race 5 is now official. Prices are up. Now prices are up. Zipfire, $28.90 to win, $9.60 and $5.30. Second, number 1, American, of course, $3.70 to place, $3.10. Third, number 6, Van Du, $3.90 to show. $2 exacta 3-1, $120.50. $1 try, 3-1-6. $247.55. $1 super, 3-1-6-4, $2,242.10. $2 double, a pair of threes, $196.80. And the $1 pick 3, $577.30. We had a claim out of race 5, the number 7 Super Cop, claimed by owner-trainer Aaron Rickman. The road to the Canadian Triple Crown begins this weekend. Be sure to come out to the Fort Erie Racebook to watch the King's Plate on Saturday, August 15th. And we'd like to wish good luck to jockey Zerrell Ford, a regular competitor here at Fort Erie, who will be racing in the King's Plate. Race 6 closes out the day, a full field of 10 on the turf course. Rider change on the number 4, Super Serenade, make the rider Deshaun Gaskin. Rider change on the 7, No Visor, make the rider Edgar Zenteno. He'll be 1 pound over at 121. Rider change on the number 8, Powaka. Luis Reyes will now be riding, also 1 pound over at 121. And Stewart scratch the main track only, number 11, Brazilian Legacy. Full field for the Jackpot High Five, carry over just over $6,000, 17 minutes to post for the nightcap.
We move to the finale here on the grass at about 7 furlongs. It's for the fillies and mares claiming event. Non-winners of 3 lifetime in for a tag of $6,250. And I think in terms of the betting board, we saved our best for last. We have a nice full field here, a lot of different directions to go. And I found it tough. I mean, when you're talking about those non-winners of 3 lifetime, it does become a little difficult to separate this group. And I just thought when you looked at true turf horses, I could kind of rely a little bit here on the 2 gamblers pose. It wouldn't be a single if you're looking at the, say, the Jackpot High Five or any of the exotics on the top spot, but I would certainly include her. She's come up short in her last 2. I thought she was going to get the job done 2 back. She made this beautiful move, and then just a couple of other horses in there. They were able to get by her. Dreams and Schemes was kind of the horse to beat there. A Fresh Face, Coach Callie came back to win in the following outing. So I think that kind of bodes well, and you can see that's who she had to face last time out. Tried to make a move. I don't think the trip really worked out for her, so she'll reunite with Kirk Johnson, who's been aboard her in the past, and we'll see if she can get back on track here. So use her on top. The 6, Buff Bay, is a fresh face here to Fort Erie, and a fresh face to the turf. You can look at her resume, 11 starts all on the tapeta up there at Woodbine, where, you know, she was a really impressive winner 2 back, and then you can see when she got into a little bit of deeper waters, she wasn't as effective. She does have some early foot, which I think will be key here. When we look at the other race here on the grass today, we saw some horses kind of go for the lead in there. There's some give to the ground, and they didn't hang around for the big share there. Actually, I like it when it snows, got the right trip there, and was able to pass late. I think Buff Bay, though, maybe can try to get loose on the lead or at least be close enough to it, and you have to think this is a really good spot for her as they claimed her for $7,500. She does get some class relief today. And then finally, the 10, Your Heart. I know she was heavily favored last time out as she was coming to Fort Erie for the first time, but I really loved her effort here and kind of thinking about the winner on the grass that we saw today and the trip that Your Heart could get. I really think she's got a big shot here in the fact that she didn't have the lead last time out. She sat mid-pack. Sofia Vivas was very patient to make that move, and when we made the move there to kind of draw clear here, she was full of run. She's not necessarily a big filly. You can't miss her. She's gray, but I thought kind of given the trip, I was really impressed with that effort, and I do wonder if she can build upon it. But for her, just to be mindful of, you're trying to find spots, you want to go long on the grass. She is technically, like many in here, eligible for non-winners of 2 life, so something to look into. I don't think it's a huge difference here, but always a factor in your handicapping. Best of luck here in the nightcap.
Field is making their way on track for today's sixth and final race. Race 6 is a claimer for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races, going for a claiming price of $62.50 down to $6,000. Traveling about 7 furlongs over the turf course, competing for a purse of $24,375. Race 6 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, 20-cent super, and 20-cent jackpot high 5 wagering to carry over just over $6,000. Race 6 post parade, number 1 is Night Saber. Mikey David rides for owner-trainer Barbara Bailey. Number 2 is Gambler's Pose. Kirk Johnson in the saddle for trainer Ken Albu and owner Six Brothers Stable. Number 3 is In It to Win It. Jalon Samuel has the call for trainer Kevin Buttigieg and owner Colebrook Farms. Number 4 is Super Serenade. The rider is Deshaun Gaskin. Howard Keene trains and part owns with Ian Ricardo Brown. Number 5 is Princess on a Mission. Deshaun Bino rides for trainer Sue Andrushko and owners V and L Squires. Number 6 is Buff Bay. Juan Crawford riding for trainer Mark Fournier and owners Tanya Orth and Dean Zaniel. Number 7 is No Visor. Edgar Zenteno picks up the mount for trainer Lindsay Hode and owner Jakara Farms. Also racing for Lindsay Hode and Jakara Farms is the number 8, Powaka. Luis Reyes picks up the mount. Number 9 is Palmola's Bet. Chad Lee riding for trainer Steve Cathcart and owner Pan Am Racing. Completing the field, number 10, Your Heart. Sophia Vives riding for trainer Kevin Buttigieg and owner Barry Arneson. Scratch the main track only, number 11. Race 6 closes out the week of racing here from Fort Erie. A full field of 10 on the turf for the jackpot high 5. Get those wagers in for the nightcap. Fillies and Mares are crossing on to the turf course. Starting gate is in position. Not much time left to get your wagers in. Current favorite at 5-2 is the outside runner, number 10, Your Heart. A competitive field of 10 to close out the racing week here from Fort Erie Racetrack. And be sure to stick around right after the races. Almost Cool will be playing at the Tiki Bar. Race 6 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. Set to begin loading for the nightcap. Full field of 10 fillies and mares to go a circuit of the turf course. First in is Night Saber, looking to give Mikey David his second win on the card. Gambler's Pose and Kirk Johnson to gate 2. In it to win it with Jalon Samuel. Super Serenade and Deshaun Gaskin. Princess on a Mission and Deshaun Bino. Buff Bay making her first start off the claim with Juan Crawford. No Visor and Edgar Zenteno. And stablemate Powaka with Luis Reyes to gate 8. Pamela's Bet, the Arkansas bred with Chad Lee. Last in will be the 5-2 favorite, Your Heart, with Sofia Vives. All set for the nightcap. They're off. A good beginning. Super Serenade hustled for speed with Princess on a Mission, Buff Bay, and Your Heart trying to find some way to the inside from the 10-hole. In it to win it, gets away in 5th, then Gambler's Pose, Night Saber, No Visor, and Powaka to her outside. The early trailer is Pamela's Bet. It's about 8 lengths front to back as they're midway around the clubhouse turn. The lead belongs to Super Serenade, now being pressured by Princess on a Mission. Buff Bay takes back to a good spot in 3rd. Then it's 1.5 to In it to win it in the green blinkers with Your Heart to her outside. Gambler's Pose races alone in mid-pack in the purple. Then it's 2 to Powaka. On the inside, Night Saber, then No Visor, and Pamela's Bet out 3 deep. The opening quarter is 25-1. Midway down the backside, it's Super Serenade and neck to Princess on a Mission. In it to win it comes off the inside and is advancing past Buff Bay. Then it's Gambler's Pose. Your Heart begins to tire. Night Saber trying to launch a rally on the inside with Powaka, Pamela's Bet, and No Visor moving well at the back. 49-3 to the half. Princess on a Mission now getting away from Super Serenade. Buff Bay trying to launch the rally 3 deep. In it to win it. Gambler's Pose on the inside. Then Your Heart, Night Saber, and No Visor. But midway down the stretch, it's Princess on a Mission and Deshaun Bino. They've opened up 2. Gambler's Pose rallying, saved all the ground, and now inching closer. A 16th to the wire. It's Princess on a Mission. Gambler's Pose down the outside. Gambler's Pose and Kirk Johnson get up to win. 3 parts of a length to Princess on a Mission. Then No Visor, Night Saber, Buff Bay. In it to win it, Super Serenade, Pamela's Bet, Your Heart, and Powaka. 130 flat. Unofficial in race 6, the winner is number 2, Gambler's Pose. Second, number 5, Princess on a Mission. Third, number 7, No Visor. Fourth, number 1, Night Saber. Fifth for the Jackpot High 5, number 6, Buff Bay. Unofficial race 6 order, 25716. Back in front of us, returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's 6th race, number 2, Gambler's Pose. Gambler's Pose is a 6-year-old bay mare by Gamble's Exchange out of Tree Pose, bred here in Ontario by Gus Diakalukas. Ridden to victory today by Kirk Johnson, Gambler's Pose is trained by Ken Albu for Six Brothers Stable. Third lifetime win for Gambler's Pose. Sits on the inside and rallies down the stretch to get up, completing the about 7 furlongs over the yielding turf in a time of 1:30. Congratulations to the connections of Gambler's Pose. Race 6 is now official. Prices are up. Gambler's Pose returned $15.20 to win, $7 and $4.90. Second, number 5, Princess on a Mission, $6.30 to place, $4.40. Third, number 7, No Visor, $10.90 to show. $2 exacta, $2.5, $91.50. The $1 try, $2.57, $676.85. $1 super, $2.571, $2,994.95. Nobody had the Jackpot High 5, so the full pool will be added to the carryover. The carryover into Monday's card will be $9,375.90. $2 double, 3-2, $233.50. $1 pick 3, $986.35. $1 late pick 4, $8,240.40. And the 20-cent pick 5 returned $15,865.73. Jackpot High 5 carryover is growing. Monday's carryover will be $9,375.90. Visit our website, FortErieRacing.com, for information about everything going on here at the track. Tune into the pre-race show for info about the track conditions, scratches and changes, handicapping, and info about upcoming races and events. Racing is back next week at Fort Erie, Monday and Tuesday. Post time will be 4:30. And if you're on site with us, stick around. Almost Cool taking the stage at the Tiki Bar very shortly. Tune into your TV Niagara for the Fort Erie Race Replay Show, channel 70 HD or 100 Epico. Thursdays at 10:30, Saturdays at 4, and Sundays at noon. And that concludes the racing week here from Fort Erie Racetrack. We'd like to thank everybody who joined us here today on this beautiful Tuesday evening. We hope you're all sticking around for Almost Cool. But if not, we will see you back on Monday at 4:30 to start off another week of action here from the Border Oval.